All right, Eric and Lucas, let's bring in Bob Bianchi right now. All right, Bob, so you're a former prosecutor. You're a current criminal defense attorney. Does there seem to be illegal intent at play or just dumb mistakes?
Yeah, that's the question, Arthel, right? So the history of prosecution of these cases requires that the prosecutors show with strong evidence a willful and intentional, a deliberate attempt to keep classified documents. And under the Espionage Act, where this makes this different from other cases we've reviewed, that they don't return them upon a governmental request. So if you ask me to read the tea leaves right now, given that high standard that the prosecutors place on themselves, so that people that don't make accidents or a mistake or they don't know or aides pack things and they're unaware of it, they really got a high bar to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. And unless they have smoking gun evidence that they knew was classified information and that they purposefully and deliberately withheld it upon a government request, a lot of this is going to go away. I think it's too high a bar from what we know right now. Of course, politically, it's damaging to the president.
Yeah, and you just heard, excuse me, Hillary Vaughn was interviewing Congressman Johnson, who implied that these documents could have been planted. Is that where your investigative nose leads you?
No, it doesn't at all. I mean, and again, we have to wait till the entire investigation goes out. Of course, that's always a possibility, but we have to stop talking about the politicization of legal issues. There is nothing to suggest. In fact, it was Biden's lawyers that turned them over. That's going to be the saving grace for the Biden administration, that once they found these documents, they immediately, without having been requested or being asked, turned them over. Why would they be turning over information without an explanation? By the way, we think these things were planted. So far in the record, from what we know, there's nothing to suggest that.
But no, you mentioned President Biden's lawyers handling this, given the political current in which we exist and the fact that there is a, excuse me, existing case against President Trump for withholding documents. He says he didn't do it intentionally, but, you know, the special counsel is looking into that as well. But given that, does it seem odd at all that President Biden's attorneys are handling these documents other than, say, some regular staffer? Or does it make sense because of everything I outlined at the top of the question?
You know, I don't know, Arthel. You know, that is an interesting question. Like, how did this whole thing start? Did an aide find something and then, and I think this would be actually a prudent action. If I were an attorney representing somebody, I'm like, let the attorneys go in from this point forward so they can identify everything and make sure that they're going to be having conversations with National Archives and with the FBI. You want legal counsel involved in that. So we just don't know the answer to that right now. But we have to find out, and I'm sure these investigations certainly is the first point they're going to go to, and I'm sure the Congress, if they get any oversight responsibility over this, is going to find out how did this whole thing happen in the first place. Arthel, I just have to say, it's certainly worthy of a congressional inquiry, but this is not the first time, nor will I suspect it'll be the last time on a federal level, a state level, or on a local level, where people take with them, you know, unwittingly or unknowingly or not even knowing what the law is, documents. This is the kind of thing that needs to be cleaned up here because this is obviously a very dangerous situation. But what's best practices versus what's a violation of a criminal law beyond a reasonable doubt, the 12 jurors are two completely different spaces.
So then how does the Biden case compare to the Trump case, or are they two completely different cases?
The argument, I think, is going to be the Trump cases are different, and it is a very, very important point. On a number of occasions, and when I talked to you before about a government agency asking you for the documents back, they were asking for the documents back. They got varying responses. Eventually, they got 15 boxes of documents, and then based on a grand jury subpoena, the lawyer signed a certification indicating that all the documents had been returned, or that they knew, in fact, that wasn't true. Additional requests were made to try to get those documents back, and that's the triggering thing under the statute, under the Espionage Act, a request of the government to return them. And then really unwittingly, in my mind, and to me, a foul ball or a bad play, was the lawyers admitting that he knew he had the documents, but believed that they were personal records and he had a right to retain them. To the extent that that information is going to be admissible in a court of law, that is exactly the intentional, willful, and deliberate things, if true, that they're going to say, you know what, look, we asked for them back. We were trying to play nice. Then they didn't turn them back. And then when we found out they didn't turn them back, and again, think of the quantity here, 11,000 plus documents, they then make an argument that he was entitled, former President Trump, to actually possess those documents. That's what they're going to say shows willfulness and deliberate violation of withholding classified or keeping classified documents, the fact that they never returned them when requested.
Appreciate your expertise, Bob Bianchi. Good to see you. Thank you very much. And we'll see you again.
Thank you, Arthel.
Take care.